Dang, it's sexy. Let's do some catching up here on Crossing the Line, Aachen 1944 from VUCA Simulations. We're into turn 5 now. Um, Drastic change. I mean, major change. So, Ninth Panzer, which was a formidable and very massive, well, compared, massive, a lot of counters, a lot of units in that formation, they had to withdraw. And I did everything I could to try to sort of. I brought the 12th Infantry forward with some independent attachments. I brought the 49th forward to help support the 326. Tried to get here and close this gap, but as you can see, 3rd Armored's already rushed through there. 1st Infantry Division's already going around it. The 9th Infantry is just sort of they're just screening anything down here. And slowly, they push forward as these units fall back, not being too aggressive, although they do have good cohesive or effectiveness of 6, and they're all 8 strength units. So I know some of y'all heard me say before that I don't like to look at the reinforcement schedule. I take it as the turn pops up when I get to a reinforcement segment, and that's how I work because it's kind of surprises me. It's kind of a fog of war whether I do something right or wrong for either side. Well, it paid off for the Americans because all of this stuff right here, 30th Infantry and 2nd Armored, all came in right in here and just pushed right across. And I had pulled these guys, the 49th, German 49th, off of the pillboxes here and pushed them up here towards Aachen and left the poor 153rd or 183rd sitting back here by themselves. Well, you can see what's going on. 2nd Armored, 30th Infantry Division is going to deal with them. 2nd Armored's already moved down here and took their first objective. And then to top it off, oh yeah, by the way, we drew our chit for victory. Finally didn't draw a dummy. And our chit is the Ruhr Dams, or the Ruhr Pocket, Ruhr River, whatever you want to call it. Well, 2nd Armored, I don't know how long it's going to last because I know they're going to be good for this turn. And they could possibly take all of those victory locations this turn. Can they hold them? Don't think so because I can see on there that I didn't look where, but the 116th Panzer is coming back in full force here shortly. So, I like maneuver warfare. This, I didn't think presented much of it, but once this 9th Panzer and 116th, which the 116th didn't have a massive amount of units on the board, but the 9th Panzer did. Once they pulled out, it was too much for the Germans to protect. And I decided with 3rd Armored, you know what, let's push 3rd Armored to the limits. And they got very good rolls twice and got 7s for their action points. So that, with only 3 or 4 stacks of units, they were able to do a lot. They eliminated probably 4 complete German units in 4 or 5 in their little push through this pocket. So we got a gap here now, all right? There's an objective here. There's an objective there. The big objective is the Ruhr area. All the rest is like Aachen's probably worth 2. And then who knows, these might be worth 1 or 2. I think that's worth 2, so we'll see. But we're kind of scrambling with the Germans. 326 is probably going to get trapped trying to defend Aachen. Eventually, they're going to get surrounded because I've got to pull the 49th back to try to help. 246 is already headed back, and they just got all these independent units came in that they're getting attached to try to slow down 2nd Armored and maybe slide over here and block 30th Infantry Division. 2nd Armored's probably going to keep pushing. I have a feeling the 1st Infantry Division, I was using the formation activations the best I can to try to not to burn them out all the way down to 0 formation activations so that when they got their additions on the next turn, I could get them close to maximum. Not so much for the Germans because I had to use as many activations as I could. And you can see most of these guys, this is what they got right now. They're up at 3 and 2 at the most because he went down to 0 and the most he can get is +2. These guys were at 1 and they went up +2. He was at 1 or 0 and he went up +3 and he was at 1 and went up +2. So, and as you can see, the Americans over here, there's only 5 formations. The Germans only have 5 formations right now, and there's no reinforcements other than those independent units for the Germans. So this game is presenting some good challenges. I don't necessarily have any complaints with it. I want to wait till I finish it to see if there's anything that could need adjusted. But right now, I just don't have anything. I don't think the game, like, this game is not hard to play. It's very actually very easy to play. Like I say, your difficulty is the action points and the activations that you have to do. There are quite a few of them, and that's why I say I classify this as a mini monster. But the game does not play hard. And like I say, so far I have no arguments yet, or no negatives with any of the rules. So this thing's only eight game turns. I'm starting turn 5, so let's play this thing on as far out as we can. Hopefully, probably to the end, I would think, because I believe 1/16th Panzer. Like I say, they come on the next turn, and it's a quite large force coming on. I don't know how much damage that's going to do or what it's going to do to the Americans, but it looks pretty potent. And let's see what the first infantry can do with Aachen, and if Third Armor can break out, and maybe get down here to Eschweiler or take Würselen. Okay. All right, so this is Crossing the Line, Aachen 1944, VUCA Simulations. We're starting turn 5, and the Americans are starting to push as we speak. All right, let's get this posted so y'all can see what's going on. Talk to you soon.